part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Run, William, run! He's got blockers in front. 5, touchdown! Joshua Cribbs turns disaster into a score! Kick blocked! They blocked the kick!
I'm ready to talk. Are you ready to talk? It's been too long.
I know that's the problem is I've been ready to. I got some things that I've been trying to get off my chest. So I've been missing Holly and that Holly because you are my voice of reasoning when it comes to the Cleveland Browns.
I feel like you're my voice of reason, and I'm the one that has, some pretty opposite opinions of you most of the time. You're the optimistic one.
I am very optimistic, and I don't panic. I don't fret, Holly. That's my thing. I don't fret. I see things for what they are, and I just keep a clear mind. And I know at some point this Browns thing is going to be the greatest story ever told. So I'm just here speaking it into existence.
I hope. And you know what I did for you today? Audience
that?
cannot see it, but
hey, go Bucks!
I wore some Ohio State gear for
Look at
my
you.
man today.
Go Bucks! I
Just for
actually
you.
wear my own. Well, this is from the radio station, but I got like I
Michigan
contributed
misery
to this
bracket.
Yeah, it's
shirt.
like a failed 2-point conversion or something. It had something to do with me, so they gave me this shirt.
Love it. Tyvis, catch me up on life. Let's catch everyone up on life. The last, 2-3 months we took some hiatus, obviously. Took our own break. But we're back and we're super excited. By the way, I'm Holly. He's Tyvis. It's the Orange is Oranger Cleveland Browns podcast. And new season. Year has flown by the way.
Yeah.
So catch me up. First of all, number one, you're on day 4 of not wearing a hat, we discovered.
Yeah.
So you're on your no hat era. What else?
Yeah, you gotta be comfortable in your skin. People gonna have their old comments, and I'm here for it. Anything that people want to say, I'm here for it. But what I'm doing is I'm getting comfortable in my own skin. And at some point in my life, I'm gonna shave my head. So like I'm preparing people to see me with like it's not bald, but like it's shaved down right now.
I got you.
One day it's just gonna be completely gone, and I want people to be like, I don't want them to be like, oh, wow. Like, I want them to be like, I can see you transition into it. So it's a way of me getting people involved in my life there.
This is the first part of the transition.
Yeah,
it's like a 12-step program.
Because it's really not about a lot of other people. It's about yourself. Like, you got to get used to yourself first, not seeing nothing up there. Like, you can't go from a head full of hair and then just shave it. Like, it's like, wow. But yeah, getting myself ready for that mentally, But outside of that, life's been good. Doing the Big Ten tailgate show again in the fall. Our show got cut down 30 minutes, so now it's a 90-minute show, which, hey, it makes no difference to me.
Yeah.
Still with Mike Hall, still got the same studio guys, still gonna be traveling. I got my September schedule.
You're going, so you go to every, so tell everyone, you go to every Big Ten location, right? You're on location.
Yeah. So we're not gonna hit all of them because it's 18 schools in the Big Ten now, and it's only 12 weeks. So we won't hit all 18 schools. They'll pick 12. I know that they want to hit every West Coast school. I know I'm going to Washington September 21st. So we'll see. I know I can't wait to see Oregon. I've never been to Oregon. I've been to Washington. I've played at USC when I was with Seattle. The Rams was playing in the Coliseum, so I've been there, and I haven't been to UCLA, so I'm excited to go to UCLA and Oregon. But yeah, outside of that, everything else is good. Did the Browns pregame, postgame show, got the first one in the bag. It was a great show. Me and Andy did pregame, and then me and Jeff did postgame. Not a lot of phone calls because it wasn't a lot going on. A lot of people didn't complain about a lot. But we did have a bet. This is the bet. I need to ask you this.
Okay. Listen.
At what point of the season, give me a week. First of all, do you think that there will be a Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired phone call this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
At what week do you
Oh
think is
God.
coming? Because I got some very funny answers on this. I got a week
Well,
1, week 2, and a week 3.
I don't think no, not certainly not that early.
That's what
But
they
okay,
you know
they're
our
nuts.
fan base.
Well, yeah, they're crazies. Hold on. Browns, I'm bringing it up to schedule. Let me just see, because I know it gets real tough in December.
You think it's gonna be that
Well,
long?
let's see. So they have. I'm thinking it's really going to matter how we do against the division. Is where I feel like that's where the anger is going to come from. So they got Bengals, Ravens in October. Bengals, Ravens, and then Steelers within 4 weeks of each other.
So at
That
that
last one's November 21st. So I would say we'll see how we do after Ravens, October 27th, Halloween. Halloween.
so you got a long so you got
We'll
about
give him a
two
little bit
months.
of rope. He's
2 months.
earned it, you know. We'll give him a little bit and then we'll see.
I can't. I'll let you know when that is. Because if it
Do you
happens, first
think?
of,
Do you
first
think?
of all, but no, it shouldn't happen. First of all, if somebody calls, I've already told anybody that listen to this podcast, if you call and say Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired, I'm going off on you right then and there because it's unless he lose like
I was gonna say,
63
what
to
if he
nothing.
sucks though?
If
Then
he
then
lose,
what?
if we lose 63 to nothing or something like that, all right, then it's warranted. But if we lose on some close stuff and the game's close or something
And what
like
if it
that,
ends up because of play calling that we lose? Let's
okay,
say
man.
let's
That's
say
part of the
three
gig. That's
three
part of the
games.
gig.
3 games
Holly,
are
that's
are
part.
determined on play calling at the end, and
First of
he makes the
all,
wrong call.
first of all, he's not good. That's not gonna happen. That's not. I'm gonna just tell you right now. As sure as my name is Tyvis C. Powell, that will not happen.
What's your middle
He's
name?
not. Cash money. You didn't know that? That's classified information, but you know what? It's not that classified because if you Google it, it comes right up. It's Chance.
Carl?
No, it's Chansey. And my whole name is just not
Really?
correct. Yeah, My mother named me Tyvis Chansey Powell because she felt like I would have a lot of chances in life, so she
Oh
named
my
me
God, I
Tyvis.
love that.
Yeah. So far,
That's beautiful.
it's been kind of true so far.
It's been
So
super true. Yeah.
good on her. But yeah. As far as sure as my name is Tyvis Chansey Powell, he will never butcher 3 games in a row. That's just not gonna happen. He's not that type of guy. And if he does, then the phone call don't need to be fire him. It should be give up play calling. I would listen to
Mm.
that
Yeah, well, I love the bet and excited to see where all of that ends up landing. But yeah, I mean, we're entering a new season, coming off a lot of awards,
one.
right? A lot of accolades, everybody's feeling good. And there's Saturday was, I barely got to watch it, to be completely honest with you, and I had to go back and watch some, and obviously I didn't miss too much.
No, it wasn't nothing
Preseason is
there.
fun, right? Like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's great to see. I love watching these guys try to get a chance. We've talked about that a lot before of these guys, you know, trying to showcase themselves in the game. And I know that really the more important thing that's coming up after this is, Minnesota's coming into town for the dual practices here this week.
Mhm.
Stefanski loves it. He's made that clear. And with the more control, did you guys do joint practices when you played?
Yeah, I was a part of 2 of them. When I was with the Colts, we did joint practices with the Lions. And then when I was with the 49ers, we did joint practice with the Texans. That was the one where Jimmy Ward fought D-Hop. And it was like it went
Oh,
viral. Yeah,
yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
there. Yeah.
What do
If
you
you
what are
go,
your
if you
thoughts? Do you like them?
You know what I do? Because it's a lot of work to be had. You get tired of, especially during camp, you get tired of going up against the same guy. And it's always nice to showcase your skill against somebody else, different receivers. For me, playing corner or safety, you go up against your same receivers all the time. You kind of figure out their tendencies. You kind of know what they're going to do. But you want to go up against other guys that bring something else to the table. Like maybe their receivers is tall and I'm going up against a physical wide receiver, or their receivers are shifty. So I'm
Yeah.
going up against a shifty guy. And I think it's nice to formulate a plan, because when you go up at corner, when you go up against these guys in the season, it's all type of different type of wide receivers, and you need to have a plan of how you're going to be successful against these guys. And the more you see of those type of guys in practice, the better you'll be at it. So I've always been a fan of it. I dominated, man. I got burnt on a fade route when I was with San Francisco by Sammy Coates. And I was so upset because it wasn't like he was good at the time. Like, it was just like it was all on me. It was my fault. My technique
You got
was
got. You got
yeah,
got.
my technique was sloppy. But the funny
Whole
thing
say.
is, I want to say D-Watt threw this ball. This dude ran this dig route on me, and I broke it up, and I looked at D-Watt. I got up and looked at D-Watt like, is you crazy? That's when I was in my mode, Holly. I was on another level. Oh, I missed the game. I miss it so much. But I say all that to say joint practices are very useful. Way better than the game because your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator is actually calling stuff that you will be running in the season, and they get a good look to see how it would do against that. The game is going to be very vanilla because they don't want to put that stuff on tape. So you got to take the most out of these joint practices.
Yeah, and with that, we enter, the back half of training camp, and it's, where things start to become real. And Stefanski talked this morning as of today is Monday. Oh my God, I got October on the brain still. August 12th. And said, Deshaun will most likely play then against Seattle, and will not be playing this weekend, which makes sense. It's interesting though. Jordan Love did get some time on Saturday.
Yeah, he did. I
almost feel like that
a touchdown too.
That whole I feel like that's flipping a little bit. That script of don't play any starters, and you're seeing it more and more. And I am a proponent of that, but I have been, I should say. Because I think you need that, that real game. I think the joint practices are a great way to obviously have that somewhat of that experience in a controlled environment, obviously.
Yeah, but you ain't got to worry about your quarterback getting hurt.
Right. But we all know that can happen, walking down the field, and you can trip and fall. So
that's true.
We've seen that too. So, and I don't want to sit here and debate whether or not preseason, he should play, but I think, and I know Deshaun just got cleared. Like, there's a lot of, concern. So I guess my next, question for you and next topic for us to kind of really discuss when I was thinking about our first episode back, what's your biggest concern going into the season at this point?
The offensive line is mainly at the tackle position, because if you got Jed Will and Jack Conklin, who I don't even think has practiced yet. So that's like that. And then you going in with James Hudson, and don't get me wrong, James Hudson's fine, but he's not. I don't know if he's always been a left tackle. I feel like he was a right tackle. Wasn't he a right tackle when TJ Watt had his way with him? Or was he at left tackle? That's, you know what? Don't even worry about it. That's too far back. But I think he's gotten better. I just think that when you got to go in there, when you start your game like Dallas, you go up against Dallas and you got to start you off with a backup tackle. I think it just changes your game plan, what you want to do.
Yeah.
You got now, instead of David Njoku being
Hudson did play right. I think it was right tackle, by the way, now that I'm going through this. That's
because TJ Watt only plays on the right side. So yeah, it was. But when you think about the game plan, it messes it up a little bit, because now David Njoku can't focus on, just running routes and getting open. He probably got to stay in. Maybe he's got to chip, Dexter Lawrence or something like that. And not Dexter Lawrence, excuse me, DeMarcus Lawrence. I think it's DeMarcus Lawrence, right? Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is the guy for the Giants. Anyways, he got to stay in and he got to chip and stay in protection and then go out. And, that, I just think that messes up time a little bit. So that, to me, is very important that, Jed Wills get back, and which I don't think he is. I just don't think he is. Even if he was to come back.
He's never been the answer for me. I've never been.
But then, people say that. People say that. And don't get me wrong. A lot of people have been down. They've been down on Jed Wills for years. But I will say that.
What has he done?
Listen. Hold on now. Hold on. Before he got hurt, his last 2 games before he got hurt, he was playing pretty good. I can't lie about this. He was actually okay. So if you're gonna give me that version of him, and on top of that, I'm not a fan of tackles rotating over like that. Like if you're a right tackle, I think you should just be a right tackle. I don't think you should switch over because it's so hard to switch from right to left or left to right. And I think people don't understand that.
Why
Like
is that? Because you would
it
think on the surface it wouldn't be.
it's just different. It's the set, it's the feeling that you get, the kicks. It's totally different. I don't know if you try it, you'll get it. Like, all right, it's just a different feeling. And don't get me wrong, he's had some time. I'm sure, they've been talking about him playing left tackle since probably did he do it in spring ball or OTA, excuse me. See, I don't recall
Wills?
if no, Wills was out, right? He's been out. He ain't been
Sorry,
back
say
yet.
that all again.
James Hudson.
Oh, Hudson. Okay. Yep.
Did he take left tackle reps in OTAs? Was he the left tackle in OTAs? He had to be. He had to be, right?
Because who else would have?
Yeah. Okay. So that's enough time. That's enough time to at least get comfortable with it. But I just think that it's going to be interesting, and that bothers me a lot. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that was actually pretty high on my list. Because I have a list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Per usual. I think the glaring one, and is the Deshaun one for a myriad of reasons. I mean, he's rehabbing back. He just
Where are you at? Where you at with that?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I've been changing a lot with that because there's so much unknown. Well, there's so much unknown with him. I mean, truly, like we've only seen so much of him, and we've seen some really amazing play from him. We've also seen some pretty scary, hesitant play from him, and he's been hurt. And now, he just gets cleared for full contact, which just getting cleared for full contact now at this point in August is a little concerning too. You wish it would have been a little bit earlier than this. Does
that part really matter though? It's not like he ain't been throwing.
The issue now is that I think it's going to end up being a mental thing for him again for a little bit. It's been since 2020, right? 2020?
That's the year that everybody likes to point to.
That he's really, played with that confidence, played mostly unhurt, played, his best football. So we hang on that. That's what we do. And, everybody wants this to work. There's so much invested in this from not even just money, right? And time and belief and and a lot of money again on a lot of different levels. And so with that, yeah, that's a lot of pressure. I just, I think I've been trying to decide like what my predictions are of how he really is going to come out and be. I think he's going to be pretty steady and consistent, which I think will be great to start off the season. And that's all I could hopefully ask for. I don't think he's going to come out lights out and just, kill it. And I don't. I also don't think he's going to be terrible. So I think he's going to be this middleman crap again that I just don't, which I hope that it turns up in October when we're not talking about Stefanski getting fired.
They better not call. They better not call and say those words. He should be fired. I'm gonna just be like, y'all got to find something else to say. Like at this point, if I was him, I'd laugh. I wonder if he listens. I know he listens to the post game show because this guy that's such a great young analyst is on it. He wants to hear his expertise. Of course, he listens.
Of course,
to it.
He does.
But I've come to the decision that Deshaun's gonna have a good year. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Deshaun, so for 2 years now, he's been searching for this 2020 version that everybody wants to see, And I think he finally, that second half of that Baltimore game, I say he finally reached where he was at. Like he could finally say, you know what? He had this whole city by storm. I'm back, baby. Put the team on my back. Won the game. This is it. And then boom, he got hurt and he's out like that. So for me, I think he needed that game. He needed that second half to happen because now in his mind, his whole off season, he's like, I was there. I was finally back to myself. Yeah. I've been waiting for that moment and I got robbed from it. So to him, I think this season, he's like, I already know that I can get there again. I know I'm there. I know it's still there because the doubt was, Maybe I don't. Maybe I can't be that guy anymore. But he's seen it. And I think that he's going to be so eager to get that back again because he finally was there. I only know this, Holly, because I know a guy that was there. I know a guy that went through the same thing. His name is Richard Sherman. He had the same thing. He ended up when he tore his Achilles in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
He rehabbed. Obviously, the next year he came to San Francisco, and he was, it was all right, right? But then the next year, he ended up being second team All Pro. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl. He was second team All Pro, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm back, I'm back."
Everybody loves a good comeback story, and if there's any team to be as part of that comeback story, it's the Cleveland Browns, right? And so Deshaun with that comeback would be great. With Chubb, second half comeback, it'd be electric, right? It would be
like
amazing.
a movie. Yeah, it would.
It would be
like
amazing.
A movie. But that's why I'm convinced that he's gonna be back to that. I'm not saying he's gonna light the world on fire or anything like that. I'm not saying he's gonna throw for 5,500 yards or anything like that. But I do think he will be in the upper half of quarterback play at this season. That's my prediction for him.
Yeah.
The upper half, top half.
And I don't think he's gonna tank. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. But I don't. I'm afraid. My biggest fear, honestly, is that we end up in a similar situation to last year, and we still don't know.
What do you mean? He got hurt?
Well, he gets hurt, or he's not. It's mediocre. We barely make the playoffs.
Oh, if it's mediocre, then it's.
But
it's
what
done.
if it's good enough? Like I think.
What do you mean good enough? If it's good enough, then that's playoffs. Ain't that what you want?
Let me ask you this: What if we just missed the playoffs with him?
What was his stats?
Man, I don't know. Just play this with me now, all right?
What do you mean?
Say he had a really good season. Okay, he had a really good season.
Then we rolling it.
I mean,
we rolling with it. Then what are you talking about?
All right. Well, so that's my question. That's part of it, right? Like, I don't want to be in any of these sticky situations. I don't want to do it. I'd always rather know. Women just would rather know, by the way, just in general. Men, just throw that out there. But
no, where this took that turn.
Look, I saw an opening and I took it. Okay.
We just want to know. Anyway,
just want to know. Either way.
Anyway, all I'm saying is, if the season isn't on him, like if he's playing good and other stuff breaks down, then all we need to see as fans is that it's a couple of questions.
But see, that's what I don't want. Right there, what you just said. What if it's the rest of the team and not totally him? Because then now it puts us into we start to question that. Is it really someone else? Is it? Look, defense. I get it. If it's super glaring, right? Our defense sucks.
Whoa!
We lose however many games.
Stop it right there. Stop it right there.
Hypothetically saying, if there's those type of glaring major issues, that would make sense of what the real problem is. I don't want to be in a sticky situation. I don't want sticky. I don't want it.
It's not going.
I want clear. Either way, that's what I want. I want to know by the end of the year, Tyvis.
You know what? You're fretting right now. See, you got to be like me.
What am I supposed to do?
You don't fret, okay? You see it for you. You see it for what it is. If Deshaun Watson is out there and he's playing and he's a top half statistically wise quarterback.
Okay. Yep.
And the biggest question is, he's answered it a little bit. Can he win in crunch time? Going to Baltimore and winning in Baltimore is big. Going to Pittsburgh and winning in Pittsburgh would be big. If he's doing things like that, when they play Kansas City, if him and Patty is toe to toe,
bet in Pittsburgh this year, man.
He did. You know, that's the only game. Well, that's the only loss he has on his record, and it was his fault. Like that was all he had to do was take care of the football, and he blew that. So that one was on him. But if you can go to Pittsburgh and win in Pittsburgh, you go up against that last half of the season, that last like week or 4 weeks or 5, whatever the heck it is. If you battling with those quarterbacks and the numbers is the same, because they're going to put you in the situation. I mean, they literally done everything they can. You get Ken Dorsey, you switch up the offensive philosophy, all of these things. You know, you got Amari, you got Jerry, you got David Njoku. The offensive line, I hear you on that. That could be
We need
something, but
we need some improvement.
we ain't gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna talk about that.
We've already talked about.
We're talking about him. But if those are, I think that this schedule is set up to find out there will be no gray area. Like the schedule will tell you if he's good or not. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried. We will definitely have our answers. The only way we won't have our answers is if he get hurt. And if he gets hurt again, at some point it's like, all right, we can't keep going through this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like another, I want to know if he's our guy. You know,
Well,
and we have yet to figure that out since he's been here, and that's crazy. I mean, it really is.
Wasn't that the same thing with Baker?
Yeah, and I'm sick of it.
You act like I don't think you understand how difficult it is to get an NFL quarterback right. Why
I'm sure it is. That's why we pay them a lot of money. Okay, we pay them a lot of money.
You see all these mediocre quarterbacks getting paid the bag right now because people fear the unknown. And if the Browns have to go that way, listen, they got a backup plan with Jameis. If Jameis gets in there, we know what Jameis is going to do. He goes sling. He might throw the thing. He might throw 25 interceptions, but you better believe he's going to throw 30 touchdowns. So it is what it is. And I tell you what, people don't want to hear this. It's a very unpopular opinion by me, but I like this Dorian Thompson-Robinson kid. I do. It's something about the kid that I just like. It's something about when he goes in there. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It was with the threes this past game, and yes, with the threes. But it's just the way that offense flows. And when we seen it last year, I said the same thing. I was like, he did that with the threes. I don't really know. Then he did it with the twos. Mm-hmm. Then when he got in the NFL and he made the team, blah blah blah. Deshaun went down. Mm-hmm. His first start was not great at all. The Baltimore game, I told you that one was messed up how they did him. But when he played that Denver game,
that was the last minute. That was the last minute.
What?
When he went in
Baltimore?
Yeah.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He did not know, and they just threw him in a fire. That was not fair. But that Denver game, I think it was Denver. Or was it LA? Which game did he get hurt? It was Denver. He got hurt in the Denver game. I started to see it started to click for him a little bit.
Yeah, because Russell was that was Denver. We got our asses kicked that game too.
Yeah, it started to click a little bit for him, and he got hurt, and it was unfortunate because I was like, I like what I was seeing. He started to trend in the right direction. So I think he's a kid that needs to stick around here for some time because I truly think he could be the starter here. I mean, he's literally got all the intangibles. He's a quarterback that wears his heart on his sleeve. You seen that man jump over the dude on 4th and 2 to get the first down? I'm like, this dude he just don't care. He be selling out, but he's passionate about winning. So I like that kid. Now, I ain't saying he need to be a starter next year or anything like that. I'm just saying he's a guy that they need to keep around because I think he could turn into something.
All right. At what week, question for you, since we're going to play this betting game, at what week, if Deshaun's not playing all that great, do the let's start Jameis over Deshaun call start?
Oh, let me look at the schedule right quick. I'll tell you that.
Please.
First of all, with the fan base, see, Deshaun's on thin ice with the fan base, like very, very thin ice. Like with me, I we're cool.
I think I think it's forever been divided, and I don't think it's moved either way.
All right, let's see. So Dallas, all right. He come out against Dallas and they drop Dallas. Dallas is a good team. People are hearing that. Jaguars, they better not. But if he dropped Jaguars, that's when come on now. Come on, really? He lose that Giants game.
I'm just going to say.
Jameis Winston will get his name chanted, and the Browns are going to say, we don't care who y'all chanting. We ain't putting nobody else in but Deshaun. We going to go this whole season and we going to know. Because at the end of the day, we ain't having no gray area. You got to let this thing play out, and you got to see it. We lose this season.
We hang our quarterbacks out to dry all the time.
I'm about to say, we lose, and we go 0-17 this season, we need to at least know after the last game, he ain't it. He ain't it. We got to know. So, y'all can chant it all you want. They ain't taking the man out because they have to get an answer this year because they need to know how to move this offseason. But the chance will happen in that Giants game. And I think it's at home too. It is at home. They will be booing.
The Giants at home.
They will boo and they will say Jameis.
I mean, yeah, the first half of this set schedule, it's a whole lot of no excuses. So all right, I want to switch gears just a little bit just to talk briefly about stadium renovations. Obviously, the unveiling of that the Browns did of this state-of-the-art $2.4 billion in Brookpark, Ohio facility had, jaws dropping, mine especially, of what could be. What is I love the business of sports so much for so many reasons, but dropping that was just pure PR greatness,
You like that?
Oh,
it
God.
fired you
Bravo
up, didn't it?
PR over there at the Browns. You know who you are. It's great. I mean, it immediately lights fire, right? Like, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents here just for overall. To not be for something like this, to me, is insane because it opens up so many doors on so many levels for the city, for the team, for the fans, for the county, for anyone visiting. It is a logistical nightmare, for one, getting downtown to that stadium. I'm sure you can attest. You got to drive your ass from Columbus. What a pain. And to try and park down there, it's a nightmare.
Whoa! I have a parking.
All right, you got a parking pass. Whatever. I usually do too. But anyways, but it's a logistical nightmare. The stadium's falling apart. The Haslam's already put in. I think I read somewhere, don't quote me on this, anybody, but I think it was like $400 million so far in renovations just to keep the place like around. And I think it's only going to last maybe another 25 years if they just like leave it. I mean, there's so much there. On top of all of that, the opportunity that this brings for overall
Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, I want Taylor Swift.
Well, she coming in. Her boyfriend's from Cleveland.
I'm gonna beat that Chiefs game, Tyvis, if it's the last thing I do.
You going to
stalk that sweet level?
Is it in Cleveland?
No, it's Kansas City is.
Oh, Kansas City's in Cleveland.
Look, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
Kansas City, right around Christmas. I believe it's week. Hold on.
It is
December 15th.
It's a 1:00 game.
4 days after my birthday. So it's a happy birthday to me. I'm going to stalk Taylor on the suite.
You made that a Taylor Swift
Suite
game?
232.
Are they insane?
That's what I want. I want Taylor. I want a Super Bowl. I want events. I want money into the county. And I get it. The city, it's exciting to have a team downtown. And there's a lot of really great benefits to that. And I get a lot of bars are going to suffer in restaurants. But we have had this ridiculously empty lakefront sitting there for so long. So let's build that up where that's where the revenue is going to need to come to. I'm sick of being a city, Tyvis, a commuter city for one, and two, a city that we're really only based off of our sports teams downtown when they're in season. You know what I'm saying? Like this is an opportunity for us to really grow and put ourselves on the map. I mean, it's been such a long time coming. And I know that there was going to be developments anyways if the stadium was just renovated. But if we want these opportunities in our city, we want the big players, we want all of these things, and that this is what we have to do. And I don't see, I don't know if you saw it, say, so the county came out and said, like, we're not backing, like, we're not going to fund that. We're going to back, the city.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this is just the beginning, but this is where all these negotiations are starting. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out. But that's just like from a pure business standpoint, and even as a fan, and not even just as a pure business standpoint, but as a fan, as someone that works in sports media, all of it makes it's the next natural step if we want to compete and be where we want to be amongst, Jerry's world.
Bravo.
There,
Well,
I think I had to get off my
well,
soapbox.
well
Driving me
said.
crazy. So
Listen, I am for the dome. I mean, if it's gonna look like that, it's like you said, it's a beautiful thing, and I think that from a free agent standpoint, you tell guys, hey, you come to Cleveland, and you see we got new facilities. We just made a new weight
right,
room, so you like that. You got a new dome that you're gonna play in. Yeah, you're gonna have to play some games out in the cold, but all 8 of your games is gonna be in a nice warm dome. I think people will be for that. And then, you see all these athletes that's coming from different spots, and they get to Cleveland, they like, I don't really want to go to Cleveland. And then they get here and they see the love that the fan base get. And a lot of them like, you know what, Cleveland's not bad, Now, say you got a nice place to play now, like that would be
yeah,
very attractive to free agents, especially the older ones. When you get older and you can pick where you want to go. Nobody really want to play in cold weather conditions. But if you're giving me a dome and you got an owner that's backing you like that and that's doing all they can
right,
for you, I think that would be very attractive to free agents. So from that standpoint, I think it's perfect. And I'll continue to say, any fan that's not a fan of the dome is not one that's sitting out there in the cold in December when it's snowing. And if you go into the games in December and it's snowing, all right, fine, say what you want to say. But if you're watching that game from your couch
or a suite.
and you talking about, oh, I want them to play the game should be played outside. Baloney. All right. Your thought really don't count on this one. I can tell you as a former athlete, nobody likes to play in the cold. No coach, no player, no administrator, nobody. Nobody wants to be out there in the cold. It sucks. The product is terrible. You got to sit there and run the ball 80 times because you can't throw the ball. Nobody want to see that. Why would you want to come to a game and see them run the ball 80 times? Like that's boring. You want to see a nice product. You want to be comfortable. You want to eat good. You want to be able to kick your feet up. You want to be able to take your jacket off, be loose and relax. And you want to watch all the things that can happen. You want to see trick plays. You want to see deep balls being thrown. All of these things. It's not going to make you no gladiator. People be talking about, oh, the cold is our advantage. Do you know the Browns I think I looked it up the other day. I think they're like 84 and 117 at home since 99. So like that's not an event.
No, and I used to be at times I used to have that mentality. Like I look, and I think some of these snow games have been a blast to watch. Granted, I haven't been at them. I've been on my couch watching them, like you said.
Here we
But
go.
it's been
Yes,
fun.
the Browns are 84 and 117 at home since 99 and one.
Yeah.
84, 117 and one at home since 99. There's no advantage.
Right.
You have a losing record at home. There's no advantage. No weather is giving you no advantage or none of that stuff. So let's cut the crap. Let's just go ahead.
The Saints came in on Christmas Eve and
and beat us. Yeah.
beat us. Like, and so and look, my opinion has changed on this a lot because I used to be, pro outside and the conditions and playing, and these guys were tougher back then, and they were. There's no doubt that they were, but in different ways. And I think the game has changed. The way that we consume the game has changed. The way we watch the game has changed. All of that. So with that, this is what comes with. I mean, it's expensive. It's an expensive business, and in order to keep up with the Jones and be part of all of this, this is what you got to do. You have to.
People want Super Bowls. People want concerts. People want Final Fours. People want all
Taylor
of these
Swift.
things. People want all these things to happen in Cleveland. You know how you get a Super Bowl? Build a new dome like that. Build a
1000%.
dome,
We won't get
and then
one if we don't.
you'll get one. So I don't know why. It's just so many positives that come with it, and it outweighs the negatives. And I get that. Cleveland, it should be in Cleveland and all of these things. It's like 10 minutes away. Like it's stopping. It's
No.
a 10-minute difference.
It's ridiculous. It's in the same county. And also, by the way, I was at Lambeau. I got to go to Lambeau last year for the first time. And like my
did you go when it was cold? Because I did.
No.
I played there when it was cold. It's not
the tundra.
Yeah, it's not great.
I was there like towards the end of September last year, so it was still beautiful. And my work, we bought 3 houses around Lambeau Field. We call them the Tundra Trio, and we do all of our like partner entertaining and stuff there and at these games. So, and it's so cool. We are in the backyard, tailgating, having a great time, and we literally open the fence and walk, 200 feet to Lambeau. Like it's insane and it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it is in the town. Yeah, I
It's
forgot about that.
just there. Now, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that that's what I want for us, but that access and the ease is just it makes that experience so much better. It just does. I mean, getting downtown, the excitement of being downtown and all those things that come with it. Downtown needs its own identity. Okay, we need to move on from the identity of the sports teams a little bit, and have our own identity with everything else that's really great about our city. So we'll see what happens. It's going to probably get pretty testy.
That dome coming. I don't care what nobody say.
Oh, I
That
know.
dome.
There's
That
no
dome's
way
happening.
that it doesn't. And I mean, look, I think the Haslams are going to do whatever they got to do if it is funding it on their own. I don't know what their math is mathing, what they say is going to be covered and what isn't. I got to read up more on that, to be totally honest, because a lot of that sometimes I don't understand.
I ain't pocket watching, but
Something about syntax. That's all I know.
We do know that they just sold Pilot for a nice chunk of change, but I ain't pocket watching now.
Yeah. No, of course not.
Right. And like I say, if Jimmy Haslam is listening to this, I think what you need,
Taylor, Jimmy,
yeah, Jimmy, D,
Kevin.
anybody that's listening to this, I know that I know you got big dome plans on you, but we need to take care of our own. We need to keep our people here in this organization. And it is this very good young man that's very good at analyzing things and breaking things down. And the fans is really starting to kind of like him a little bit, just a little bit. They like what he says just a little bit. And I think that with the potential of this guy, we should give him a raise and keep him around, because for at least the next 5 years, I'd say. Let's just throw that number out there. For the next 5 years,
you ride those dome coattails, Tyvis. Ride them.
Keep this guy around, just so I can see the dome. Just, I'm just saying. Just a thought.
How cool would that be? I get to run into you there every Sunday instead.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be something? I'll be like, man, look at this. Boy, I walk in there. I salute. As soon as I see, I'm going to be like, boy, you did this.
Yes. 1,000%.
Yeah, gotta speak it into existence.
Let's do it. I like it. Well, this is the first time. So, all right. Well, look, I'm so happy to be back with you. This is exciting. We're back in action. Insane that we already are, but it's my absolute favorite time of year outside of Christmas, because it's my birthday and I love Christmas, but this is my absolute favorite time of year. And I'm super excited. I'm pumped to get, down in the nitty gritty with you each week as we break down, hopefully, a lot of dubs. So, Tyvis, officially welcome back. I'm happy I get to see your face.
I appreciate it. It'll have a hat on it the next time you see me.
No, embrace yourself. Love yourself.
I am for 1 week, and then it's back to reality. Going back to look, it's just.
But when are you going to do it again? Like do you know what I'm saying? Like you do this for a week, and then then why did you do it? It starts.
Just I wanted to see if I could handle it, how I would feel. That's why I wanted to see if I can handle it. You got to challenge yourself. I got to give myself some challenges.
We got to do a bet or something that has you not wear that. Then if I win this season in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about this.
I look at this hat every day.
Well, you tell people what your hat says.
It says Cleveland on the front, and then on the back it says that diet starts Monday.
I love it.
And then it has 1994 Jacobs Field, which 94 was the year I was born, so significant. The hat was made.
You had to end that with just saying, how much younger you are than me.
I'll tell you what, somebody told me today, without my hat on, I look like I'm 45. So there you go. There you go.
Was it one of your daughters?
No, it was one of my coworkers at the radio station.
Oh my God.
I said that's fine. When I
45.
actually turn 45, I'll still look the same. So people will go,
That's right.
You look young. It's like, thank you. So there you go.
That's right. All right. Well, next time we'll break down, how long Tyvis actually lasted with whether or not he wore his hat. And we'll get back into it for the season. So why don't you take us out officially, Tyvis, for this season?
Dog check. Go Browns, man. It's going to be a great year. Let's go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Roo, roo.